Imagine the Shrimad Bhagavad Gita distilled into 70 essential verses. On this season of Le Vedanta, we're unlocking our personal transformation through essential love. In this episode, we're talking about the first essential verse from chapter 1, verse 1 of the Bhagavad Gita. The theme of this chapter is fear, and the source of fear is selfishness. Let's tune into Vivekji to learn more.
We are going to explore the 70 most important verses out of the 700 verses of Bhagavad Gita. How we're going to do this, for all 18 chapters, I'm going to share with you 4 of the most important verses. 18 times 4, 72. In chapter 1, we'll only take up 2 verses because the teachings of Bhagavad Gita don't start in chapter 1. They start in chapter 2. I will state to you which chapter, which verse, so there will be reading, writing, reflecting. After that, after we complete the essence in 70 verses, we're going to take up 7 verses. After that, we're going to take up 1 verse. Then we will be ready for chapter 18. We have to be ready. This is the final chapter by which we are to experience Vishnu Sahasranama. And so, we are in chapter 1, verse 1. Shri Paramatmane Namaha Atha Pratamodhyayaha Dhritarashtra Uvacha Dharma Kshetre Kurukshetre Samaveta Mamaka Pandavaschaiva Kimakurvata Sanjaya. And now what do you have to write? Joy. Wonderful. We remember the divine. We commence chapter 1. Dhritarashtra said. Dhritarashtra is that critical personality who can facilitate this war. He has started it, but he can also stop it. Dharma Kshetre, this field where dharma can be practiced. Kurukshetre, he localizes this to the northern part of India. How many of you have been to Kurukshetra before, by a show of hands? Yeah, many of us have gone together. For those who were with me when we went, I had shared a sankalpa that our community should take up the responsibility of looking after Kurukshetra, to make it clean, to make it organized. For those who are with me, I hope you remember me sharing that. Samaveta Yuyutsavaha, in this field where one can practice dharma, that is in northern India, Dhritarashtra knows that people, that his family, are assembled for war. They have organized themselves into 2 sides, into different divisions. Who are they? Mamakaha, mine, Cha, and Pandavaha, the Pandavas. These are the 2 sides. Within these sides, there are divisions. He is identifying them as almost like othering. There's me and you. There's mine and yours. And he's speaking to Sanjaya, the one who is objective. And this is such a beautiful part. Kim, which means what? Many of you in our dialogue with Dharma course, the word kim comes a lot. What? Akurvata happened. The key being ed, or past tense. What happened? Why this is so beautiful is the Mahabharata is a historical text. But the fact that we're now in 2024, the implication of this, or the symbolism, is this is happening now. It is a philosophical map. We think mine, that is the core of us, we think we are the ego. And the othering, or you, is Pandava, that is divinity. That's for later in my life. That's for people who are not like me. How this feels, I'm going to zoom into this. This first verse offers the message of what attachment looks like. Whenever there's a sense of my, which comes from the sense of me, this is a game of attachment. What precedes attachment is vikshepa, or projecting. What proceeds from attachment is bhaya, or fear. This is just the seed for this. The Bhagavad Gita very much explores attachment. Now, in this very verse, there is the cure to this disease also. That cure is the first word of the Bhagavad Gita, dharma. Dharma, in a noun sense, means responsibility. When you hold on and follow through with your responsibilities, in a verb sense, dharma means integration. By holding on and following through with your responsibilities, you become integrated. You go from divisions and sides to oneness. Everyone's connecting the dots. We all have, and I've used the word responsibilities because they're different. I have a responsibility to Vyasa. I have a responsibility to Shuka. I have a responsibility to Shila, etc. But these responsibilities are founded on the responsibility, which is for me to integrate myself to infinity. There is no other purpose. If you feel there's another purpose, that is the ego that is winning rather than the spirit that is being victorious. There is no other purpose. We have started with chapter 1, verse 1. The message from this chapter and verse is we all have a macro responsibility. I'm using this in the singular, responsibility. A macro responsibility, and that is to integrate. Integrate who we are to infinity. Integration is only possible in the finite. When you feel infinite, you can't integrate anymore. We all have a macro responsibility that is to be practiced in our micro responsibilities. This is plural. This is different for all of us. How old we are, where we live, etc. For those who are less reflective, they feel their micro responsibilities are independent. They feel their micro responsibilities are their purpose, and so they don't become more integrated. They don't evolve to infinity. Being more specific about this, those who reflect less, they feel their only responsibility is family. Yes. But your responsibility is much, much, much more than that. And to help us develop this habit of integration, to tune into this macro responsibility, try to associate, try to be in a trust triangle. One's guide, one's map, one's divinity are all icons of integration, integrity. So if I'm in a trust triangle, it's like an incubation space for me, that I have the right role models for me to follow suit.
To dive deeper into Essential Love, go to the show notes and click the link to request your free copy of our ebook. The Essential Love ebook includes a dedicated page for each verse that we cover here on the podcast. It includes a structured approach to learn, synthesize, and reflect on the divine teachings. And of course, if you've liked what you've heard, share this episode with a friend. Leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, or find us online at chinmayaniagara.com or CM Niagara on Facebook and Instagram. This podcast is produced by seekers from Chinmaya Mission Niagara. Until next time, inspire, love, be.